I have visited many of my friends' houses, and I have noticed that most people really enjoy planting large trees or letting climbing vines grow around their homes. What many people do not realize, however, is that according to Feng Shui, these types of plants are often considered potential risks that can negatively affect the homeowner's health and may also cause a loss of wealth and good fortune. That is why in today's video, I want to help you understand why large trees or climbing vines can have such a strong impact on financial luck, and also show you how to fix the situation if you have already planted these types of plants around your home. Now, let us begin together. The balance between life energy and plants. First, it is important to understand the balance between life energy and plants. This balance is a key factor that shapes harmony in a living space and directly influences the homeowner's energy and financial luck. In Feng Shui, plants belong to the wood element, a force of growth that represents kindness and upward progress. However, ancient teachings often warn that when anything becomes excessive, it turns harmful. In other words, once a natural balance is crossed, positive energy can transform into destructive energy. Life energy is naturally pure and prefers gentle circulation along with natural sunlight. Plants can help guide this energy into the home, but the line between a balanced garden and an overwhelming mass of vegetation is very thin. When greenery becomes too dense, it can disrupt the entire flow of energy around the house. Classical texts such as the Book of Burial by Guo Pu and the Yellow Emperor's Classic of Dwelling emphasize that a prosperous home must maintain harmony between heavenly energy, which comes from sunlight, and earthly energy from the land. When large trees or thick climbing vines surround the house, they begin competing for that energy. At that point, the plants no longer support the homeowner. Instead, they absorb the vitality of the land, leaving the house in a stagnant state where energy feels blocked and lifeless. In such conditions, wealth becomes difficult to hold on to. Even when money is earned, unexpected expenses appear, preventing long-term accumulation. A house surrounded and overwhelmed by vegetation resembles a person whose movements are restricted and whose space is controlled by something else. When vines wrap around walls, they form what Feng Shui calls a restraining structure that limits growth and opportunity. Feng Shui also warns that when climbing plants cover the main entrance, the homeowner may struggle to stand firmly in life. Fortune becomes unstable. Money may enter the front door but quickly leave through the back because energy cannot gather in the open area in front of the house. As a result, financial luck declines and unexpected troubles often appear. Why you should avoid large trees or climbing vines around the house. First, let us talk about large trees. A massive tree standing directly in front of the house or dominating the surrounding space creates what Feng Shui calls a single tree blocking the gate. This is considered one of the most damaging layouts for financial fortune. In Feng Shui, the open area in front of a house is known as the bright hall. This space acts like a funnel that collects life energy before guiding it through the main entrance. Ideally, this area should be open and spacious so energy can circulate naturally. When a large tree blocks this space, it becomes a physical barrier that stops the flow of energy. As a result, wealth cannot gather. The homeowner may feel that opportunities often slip away at the last moment, or that competitors suddenly take advantage of chances that once seemed within reach. From the perspective of yin and yang balance, plants represent the wood element of growth. However, extremely large trees with dense canopies can accumulate heavy yin energy. Their thick leaves block sunlight, causing the house to become dark and damp. Sunlight is one of the purest forms of yang energy. It cleanses negative influences and keeps people mentally alert. When sunlight is blocked, the home can feel gloomy, and the family's reputation, career opportunities, and financial stability may gradually decline. Another concern is the root system of large trees. In Feng Shui, deep roots are seen as channels that draw energy from the land. When these roots interfere with underground water systems and create leaks, it symbolizes wealth slowly draining away. Homes where a large tree grows through structures such as floors or roofs are considered to violate a serious Feng Shui taboo known as piercing energy. This type of structure disrupts the unity of the house and is believed to signal unexpected misfortune for the family. If the tree cannot be removed, the homeowner can trim the canopy to reopen the space in front of the house. To neutralize the tree's energy, a convex bagua mirror can be hung facing the tree to reflect conflicting energy away. Placing red decorative lights near the base of the tree or painting a red circle around the trunk can help balance excessive wood energy. In addition, installing a small fountain in the open area in front of the house can reactivate moving energy, turning stagnant energy into positive flow that supports financial attraction. Second, climbing vines. In Feng Shui, climbing plants are considered to carry strong yin energy. Because they cannot stand upright on their own and must rely on other structures to grow, they symbolize dependence and instability. According to the principle that form reflects energy, a house covered with vines on its walls or entrance may attract stagnant energy. This environment can draw opportunistic people who take advantage of the homeowner, causing both financial and emotional stress. Residents in such homes often experience unstable fortune and may struggle to establish independence in their careers. As a result, money flows in but does not stay, because energy is scattered and lacks a strong foundation. When vines grow densely around a house, Feng Shui describes the formation as wood chains, symbolizing entanglement and complicated conflicts. This structure is believed to attract gossip, misunderstandings, and even long-lasting disputes. If vines grow heavily around the entrance, they create something like a web that blocks fresh life energy from entering the main door. People living inside may feel restricted, mentally drained, and unable to move forward in life. In relationships, the buildup of yin energy from dense foliage may also create negative romantic influences. Over time, this environment can lead to suspicion, tension, and emotional distance between couples due to the lack of healthy sunlight and positive energy. Another issue appears when vines and aerial roots penetrate walls. In Feng Shui, this is seen as draining the protective energy of the house. Dense plant layers trap moisture, creating moss and mold, which are signs of stagnant and decaying energy. Such conditions can affect judgment, leading to poor financial decisions and gradual loss of wealth. To balance climbing plants, homeowners can use fire energy to control excessive wood energy. Hanging red lanterns or installing strong warm lighting near vine-covered areas can increase positive yang energy. If vines have already spread widely, trimming them to reveal at least part of the wall and windows is necessary to restore energy flow. Some flowering vines with bright colors can still be used if they are carefully controlled on open trellises, ensuring they do not form dense layers that block sunlight from reaching the house. Groups of plants that bring positive energy and good feng shui. So if you want to grow plants around your home, which ones should you choose? Below are several groups of plants believed to attract good fortune and prosperity. These suggestions come from many years of personal observation and experience, and you can use them as a reference. Number 1. Plants that attract wealth. The first group includes wealth-attracting plants, especially money tree and ZZ plant varieties. In Feng Shui, these plants act like small energy stations near the front area of the house and the main entrance, helping gather and stabilize positive energy before it flows inside. The ZZ plant is known for its thick, symmetrical leaves that resemble strings of ancient coins. Plants with leaves that grow upward are considered to carry strong yang energy, which helps disperse stagnant energy. A common placement is the southeast area of the home, a direction traditionally associated with wealth and financial growth. The money tree carries a slightly different meaning. Its braided or clustered form symbolizes gathering and holding wealth. It is often used in homes where money seems to come in but does not stay for long, helping create an energetic environment that supports financial stability. When placed correctly, these plants can help transform stagnant energy into active life energy. This subtle support may help homeowners stay clear-minded and confident when making financial decisions, creating a more balanced and prosperous environment for the entire family. Number 2. Plants that protect the home. The second group includes protective plants such as snake plant and fragrant dracaena. These are often considered natural feng shui guardians that help neutralize negative influences and protect the healthy energy inside the home. The snake plant, with its tall, upright leaves, resembles sharp blades pointing upward. In feng shui symbolism, this form represents strength and protection. It is often placed near sharp architectural corners, staircases, or other areas where conflicting energy may occur. These plants are commonly positioned in the northeast or southwest areas of the home to strengthen stability and family harmony. Their presence helps filter negative energy and maintain a calmer, more balanced atmosphere inside the house. The fragrant Dracaena carries strong wood energy thanks to its sturdy trunk and resilient growth. Placing it in entry halls or areas where energy flows through the home can help stabilize the overall energy of the space. Interestingly, when a fragrant Dracaena blooms, it is often viewed as a sign of major good fortune. In Feng Shui belief, it symbolizes that prosperity and opportunities may soon arrive. Keeping these protective plants in important areas such as corners or near the entrance helps create a stable circle of positive energy. This allows beneficial energy to remain inside while reducing the chance of negative influences entering the home. Number 3. Auspicious plants for luck and opportunities. The final group includes plants that help guide energy toward important areas of life, supporting happiness and personal advancement. One well-known example is lucky bamboo. This plant carries strong wood energy and symbolizes resilience and steady growth. Its straight, segmented stems represent gradual progress and rising success over time. Lucky bamboo is often placed in the southeast or eastern areas of a home to encourage smooth energy flow and support career growth, reputation, and new opportunities. Another popular plant is anthurium, recognized by its bright red flowers. In Feng Shui symbolism, the color red is linked to warmth, celebration, and joyful news. The flower's heart-like shape often represents openness and emotional harmony, making it a common choice for improving relationships and attracting positive connections. Placing anthurium in the southern area of the home can increase brightness and vitality, helping the homeowner stay mentally clear and more likely to receive support from helpful people. For auspicious plants to work well, their condition is important. They should always be healthy, clean, and neatly maintained. Lucky bamboo should have stable roots in fresh water or soil, while anthurium should have old leaves and faded flowers removed regularly. In practical feng shui thinking, a thriving plant reflects active life energy, while a neglected plant can weaken the atmosphere. When these plants are placed properly and cared for well, they can become small points of positive change that help bring smoother opportunities and joyful events into life. After understanding how plant energy flows around a home, the most important thing is the homeowner's awareness when arranging and caring for the living space. A house filled with positive energy often begins with simple habits such as keeping the front area bright, pathways open, and plants well maintained. Every time you trim away overgrown branches or place a meaningful plant in the right location, you are quietly creating better conditions for your own life. When nature is kept close in a balanced and gentle way, the home becomes a stable place of comfort, and prosperity can gradually grow over time. And if you have any questions about feng shui or other related topics, feel free to leave them in the comments below so we can explore them together in future videos. Goodbye for now, and I will see you in the next one.